printed up out of thin air. It is literally like alchemy. That's why I associate it with sorcery, is because it really is a lot like that. So it's trickery, it's deceit, it's wrong, it's immoral, it's lawlessness. And that's how, a lot of people have amassed these, enormous fortunes that are ridiculous in proportion. And it's just power, it's worldly power, it's devilish. It really is. It is like Jesus said. He said, this is the root of all the evil, is this love of money. And who in their right mind needs $1 billion, much less 10 billion or 20 billion or 30 billion dollars? This should be spent, okay? And I don't mean to take from these people, but give me a break. If I'm talking to a billionaire out there, come on, man. You got more money than you and your kids combined, and their kids and their kids' kids can use in a million lifetimes. It's ridiculous. Why are you so damned insecure? Give me a break. The poor spend everything they have. It reminds me of the parable Jesus taught of the widow, that had 2 pennies. She's in church, and when they're passing around the plate, she gives everything she had to live on. She went on faith. Will God find faith on the earth when Jesus returns? That's the big question. Are any of us faithful? Can we say, you know what, I have plenty, I can share. Now let me give, like Jesus always said, the rich guy that went away sad when Jesus told him, to give, to sell your riches and give to the poor, okay? And it's all relevant. That's the story, that's the parable, that, Jesus watched the rich giving. When a rich guy gives, if you're worth $10 billion and you give $1 million to charity, that would be, that'd be like the poor widow. Instead of giving her 2 pennies, she split one, maybe she shaved a little piece off the penny and gave it because of her lack of faith. She couldn't trust that, that God was going to provide her needs, meet her needs. But we've got to understand it's God that provides all our needs. If you are a billionaire, how in the hell did you get there? Who gave you the brain? Who gave you the wherewithal to amass such a vast fortune, okay? It was God that gave that to you. Now give back. If we simply shared, okay, and no, I don't prescribe to communism. I don't prescribe to collectivism as we know it. I don't prescribe to socialism. But I prescribe to egalitarianism. I believe that we are all born equal. We all have inherently equal rights that are ordained by God and decreed by God, and that these are what we need to adhere to. We need to be upright, good, moral, ethical people that value their conscience. That's, to me, is success. Back to success. What is successful? Having the right values, having the right spirit, embracing the Spirit of God and saying, give me the right attitude, because attitude and spirit are one and the same thing. So give me right thinking, because our beliefs stem from our thinking. Because out of our beliefs come our words and come our deeds. So, what is success? It's having integrity. It's valuing your integrity. It's valuing being an honorable person, a noble person. Valuing having a conscience and saying, wow, I feel guilty, instead of saying, hey, who's this person? They call myself my friend, but they've made me feel guilty. They're laying this guilt trip on me. Have you ever considered that maybe you need to see when you're wrong, and that you should welcome understanding these things? Welcome understanding, that you're wrong sometimes. And, admit it. And then that's the way you can grow and to be a better human being and to store up, like Jesus said. He said, store your treasures in heaven where neither rust nor moth destroy and thieves don't break in and steal. So we've really always got to come back to that, is understand that, anything good in me, anything good that I think, anything good that I say, anything good that I do, it all was inspired from above, okay? It's divinely inspired. And those are the only 2 paths we can go down in life. Are we inspired to be, successful as interpreted and translated and defined by worldly means, worldly methods, worldly yardsticks? Or should we, say, am I successful, by divine interpretation and translation, you know. And the most important thing is obvious, that, you know, we really need to understand that we're cosmic creatures. And even if our bodies die today, that we live on, because we're a lot more. And it's a provable scientific fact that there's a lot more to the fauna than meets the eye. And fauna, we are part of the fauna. As living, breathing, sentient creatures walking on the face of this earth, we have invisible qualities. Those, you know, and again, you know, how do you explain somebody's unwillingness to do anything for money? I mean, how many people out there would say, no, I'm not going to go kill so-and-so. I don't care that you've got, you know, $10 billion to give me, and, you know, unthinkable wealth. I don't care, you could give me the whole world. But, and even if I can get away with it, and you can guarantee I can get away with it, I don't want to do it because it compromises my integrity. It compromises my conscience. It compromises my honor, my dignity. It compromises my soul. It compromises my nobility of character. And I'm not going to do it. I don't care what you pay me. So how do you explain that? How do you explain that reality that has, you know, nothing to do with the physical world? It's not worldly at all. And when Jesus said you must hate your life in this world, he didn't say you must hate your life. We're supposed to enjoy our lives, to experience joy and peace of mind and comfort and some sense of satisfaction, okay? And just enjoy our stinking little lives, our mortal lives. We have a right, we have an obligation to do that. But what he meant was that if you get it, you'll understand that it is the spirit of Satan that is running this worldly system. And success as defined by the system, by Satan, okay, is not success at all in the truest interpretation. So worldly wealth is what it is. It's temporal. It's just like your body. I mean, the longest it can last you as long as your body. And beyond that, you got to bank on your faith, on your trust that there is this loving, good God, this benevolent, you know, all-powerful being that is going to take care of you from there and is able to give you a new and infinitely better body, and to put you in a world that you deserve, that's free from unnecessary suffering. And this is what I really think people have to understand is, you know, what is bugging you, okay? I wonder if you know. You know, what is bugging me? What is bugging him or her? And if we get to the bottom of things, if we, for example, look at something as nuanced as drug addiction or alcoholism, food addiction, all these destructive behaviors, and we say, what is at the root? Is this person just really sick and twisted, and, you know, they're just degenerate and there's something morally deficient with them? Or do we look at the underpinning reasons and say, what is bugging me? Why would I behave like this in a way that is showing this self-loathing, this self-hatred, this self-destructive behavior? Why would anybody do that? And if you dig beneath the surface, beneath the skin, you'll discover that what's bugging them is the system. And again, this may be on a subliminal level, semi-conscious, subconscious, unconscious, oblivious, or it may be fully conscious level. But as long as you get it, and you get that you must hate your life in this world, then you understand when something's bugging you, that's a good thing. It's supposed to bug you so that you can fix it. It's just like if you're driving your car and you hear a terrible whirring sound, and you know you can't. It's unnerving. You can't. It's untenable. You can't content. So you go to a mechanic, and he says it's this or that or the next thing, and you can either fix it yourself or, you know, hire him to fix it for you. And but what you've done is you've confronted the problem and you fixed it. You got to the problem of it, to the bottom of it, and you fixed that problem. So it's not bugging you anymore. Okay, you have some peace of mind, some satisfaction that now your car sounds beautiful. Okay, and that's the same thing in life. Is that, you know, things are happening all the time. We're very complex creatures living in a very complex society. You know, I don't call it a civilization because I believe we've descended and we've become very uncivilized. And this is very important for us to understand and admit. We've got to say, you know what, is that this place really sucks. That, you know, there's so little that I can do in terms of changing it because I don't have any worldly power. I don't have a lot of money. And it takes a lot of money to start a petition or to run public service announcements or whatever way you think would be most powerful and potent in affecting, you know, the world system, and to bring it into order, to a lawful state of morality, of, you know, conforming to ethical guidelines in all our affairs, all of us, okay, and to be able to demand simple things in life like, you know, full employment. I mean, this sounds, oh, that's so far out. How dare he come up with that? What a wild, harebrained, radical idea. Full employment. I mean, folks, this is absurd that we accept these things like an unemployment rate. Oh, it's, you know, it's not too bad now. Oh, it's getting better. The cup's half full now. The cup's half empty now. And, you know, it's just the way it is. You know, it's just the system. The economic system has highs and lows, ups and downs, and round about. No, folks. This system is rife with fraud. Up one side, down the other, and that to the nth degree. Everybody's got to get that tattooed in their mind. And you're right to hate your life in this system, okay? You're on track. You're a godly person, whether you know it or not. To understand, you know,